time stops when you get over here and things shift, and there's like a diabolical amount of very not normal things that take place, and no one really talks about it. We just kind of be like, oh yeah, Africa ain't for everybody. No, listen, I try to tell people when I'm doing my calls, you guys know I do consultations for people that want to move here. I never advertise it, so I only do it like word of mouth kind of thing when people email me. And sometimes I talk to people that are well traveled and they are on their way here and they swear to me that they know Africa. And I hate these calls because I'm like, boo, boo. The only planet you've been on is Earth. Africa is a different planet, okay? There's just something different. I hope that I can explain this to you guys in the way that my heart and my mind wants to interpret it, okay? First, let me start by reading you guys the post that I made. For those of you who did not see the post, I'm sure that most of you did have. But let me go to my YouTube channel right now, okay? And read to you guys what I said, and then I'm going to break down in more detail exactly what I mean. So I said, living in Africa for nearly 4 years has taught me that Africa isn't a real place. I swear, the stuff you see and experience here be straight out of a comic book or something. If I shared what I went through just to get local honey this week, you wouldn't believe me. And I honestly don't want to share it because it really don't make no sense. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a Cat in the Hat movie. Impossible shit just happening. I'm convinced the reason everyone comes to Africa and feels so spiritually connected, the reason people feel like they are being healed here is because God is over here a lot more than any other place in the world. God has to be here on 24-hour watch because the way they do things here is too free. They don't even look back for pedestrians when they reverse in their cars. It's so many deaths I should have seen that I haven't here because God is here, y'all. Just interfering in everybody's day all the time because there ain't no other way. And I stand on this. Y'all. Like, it's so funny. And let me say first that I'm extremely grateful to be here. Most of you guys know my journey was not for the weak-hearted. This is definitely a divine thing. And even me doing this video right now, you watching this video, especially if you feel called to the motherland, then this is some divinity taking place right now. I also feel like the kind of person that I am, the way that I write and interpret things, I'm really grateful to have this experience because I know for a fact that over these last almost 4 years, the way that I've been able to share things in such a different light. I mean, I think that all of us do that because we're all so unique. But the way that I interpret things and candidly share them, I just really appreciate me walking in one of my purposes and my calling to be able to share what the continent is really like. From our show, Repack No Cap, you guys remember me and Afro Millennial Mama, that right there is such divinity, something that you won't get anywhere else. Still, there's not a diaspora podcast where people are candidly sharing their life here on the continent, in the motherland. And then from my own personal perspective, I have so many stories, some of those that I have shared for anyone that is on their way here and wants to hear a very raw but comedy-like expression of what this place is. I'm very careful about Africa, okay? If you know me, if you've been watching me for a minute, you know that I don't play about the exploitation and the way that we speak on Africa, okay? The way that we speak on Mama's land. So I did not come to Senegal and just start sharing all my experiences and going crazy. No. A lot of people who have their own platforms and they move to the continent, they do that. And I'm not with that vibe because I felt like I needed to really be here and experience this place and really set in and let it all sink into my pores, you know what I mean? Before I start to share the way that I would naturally share. So I don't know. I just wanted to share how appreciative I am. If anybody is watching this and if you are easily offended, then maybe you shouldn't even be on my channel at all, because I say a lot of things that could be offensive. And it's all love here. It's all laughter. If you are new to my channel, then you know that if you've been here, if you're new to my channel, then this is why I'm saying this. And if you have been here, then you know this already, all right? So let's get into these reasons I have, y'all, on why Africa is a different planet. It's just not real. Ooh, other disclaimer. So obviously I've only lived in Senegal as far as the continent, right? So when I say Africa, you know, I'm going to speak about Africa generally because I have other friends in other countries here and we kind of agree on the same thing. I don't want to make these things specific for Senegal because then a lot of you guys that are in other countries on the continent is just going to say it's the same thing here, it's the same thing here, right? Like that's how much these things are also in other countries in Africa, which is why I'm going to speak about Africa as a whole. But there are certain things that I will be mentioning that I know for certain is specific for Senegal, okay? And if I can remember, then I will try to specify what that is. All right, you guys know that we were robbed months ago, like back in August of 2023, right? They came into my room and they wanted to steal my electronics, right? If you've been to the motherland or you live here, then you know that the biggest, most common crime is theft of electronic devices, right? They're breaking in people's houses all the time to do this. I'm not saying that it happens every day or happens to everybody. The majority of us have not had this experience, but I am saying that it does happen, right? Again, putting emphasis on electronics being a big thing. This is a major thing. You got to be careful. Watch your electronics, right? So why is it, at least here in Senegal, okay, this is one of the things that's specific for Senegal. Why is it that at the same time, when I'm living in a country that you gotta really watch out for your electronics, you gotta really watch your back when it comes to your phone and everything, how is it that I am able to send an electronic device from one city to the other without knowing the person's name who is sending it? When I say sending it, they're driving in their car, okay? They're driving in the car from one city to another. And you give them 3,000 sefa, which is like $6, and they go to this other city and they deliver your electronics safely. Safely. And nobody is asking for their name. Nobody cares about their background check. Nobody is actually thinking this person might steal my stuff. Like, what if this electronic place, you know, thievery place, because that's how the label, everybody, I feel like Americans, even my father, when I moved here, he was like, oh, you gotta be careful, your phone might get stolen, you know. And I'm like, oh my God, Dad, not the phone, you know. So it's such a big thing. Why? How is it that that's such a big thing, but then at the same exact time, in the same goddamn day, I can send a brand new iPhone, whatever, brand new tablet from one city to the next, and it's a stranger. Now one of us have seen this guy a day in our life. We're gonna go to this random ass place. We're gonna ask this guy to send off these electronics, and we're gonna give him the number to the person that he'll be delivering to. And we're going to trust, okay, that he's gonna deliver it. And he actually does. Every time. They do. Every time. What? It doesn't even make sense because this is the perfect opportunity. Steal the stuff. No. No, but seriously, you guys know K-Bye has been on my channel quite a few times. I asked K-Bye this a few weeks ago. I'm like, bro, you gotta tell me, like, what's the inside thing about everybody warning you to watch out for your electronics, but then sending your electronics off with strangers and y'all don't know nothing about them, no license plate, no nothing. And you know what he told me? K-Bye said, No, we don't worry about that here. We trust. This is what he said actually. He said we have to trust the process. Trust the process? Yo. Like I'm done with that. It's so like it so doesn't make sense, especially for someone that has been robbed. I be feeling hella weird. I'm like, you just want me to just give this to him? And I've done this a few times. The first time, okay, my neighbor's dog. The first time I had to send some essential oils to a person that was here where I'm at now, and I was in the city in the car. And she's married to a Senegalese dude. And so she was like, yeah, like her husband just said, just go to this place and just give the guy the oils. And I'm like, you want me to just give it to him? Like, here you go. Like, you want me to take anything down? Like, do I need a, no. And no, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly safe. And like K-Ba said, you just trust the process. I love that. Okay, ignore the dog, y'all. Okay, so the next thing that is so unreal about Africa is, oh my God, I have been itching to say this. CP time. You guys, I'm gonna do a whole nother video. This video have to go viral because this video is important for the culture, okay? The culture. I need to do a video about the similarities between Black Americans, probably Black people from the UK too, but definitely Black Americans and Black Africans, because there's so many things that I feel like Black Americans, we think that we invented, because America's a very influenced country, right? We influence the world and we do start a lot of trends and things. But there's a lot of things, you guys, that we think that we started or we think just came from our Black American culture, and they came from Africa. You cannot tell me that CP time, not the name of it, because I don't think they have a name for it here. I think they think it's completely normal, or it is normal because it's their norm. But not the name of it, but the actual act, the act of colored people time, we got it from Africa, okay?
I said what I said.
It started right here. It started right here in Africa. Somehow it trickled through our bloodline, through our ancestors, and here we are today in America doing our CP time. I call it AFT, African time, or AT, African time, okay? But when I tell you, baby, it came from Africa and nobody does it better than them. We think in America, because we see comedians have joked about this. We talk about this all the time in our culture, where you can, be like, hey, are you coming? And the person's like, yeah, I'm on my way. I'm down the street, and they don't show up for another 20, 30 minutes, right? Not cool, but that's how we do it, right? Now tell me why in Africa, on AT, okay, on CP time, Africa edition, you will be like, hey, are you coming? And they will be like, yeah, I'm on my way, I'm down the street. And you will not see them for a few hours, if even that day. They may not even come that day. It may be the next day. Okay? But that's how real CP time is in Africa. That's how real it is for them in Africa. And that's an unreal thing. Like, the way that time is not an important thing at all, ever, it's unreal. It is completely unreal, guys. And speaking of this, it's going to lead me into my next thing that is so unreal, because it's kind of tied in with each other. So when you're looking for apartments here, oh my God, do I have experience on finding and searching for homes here? I definitely do. And one thing that happens is very common. If you speak to any landlords or anybody that help people find places here, they're gonna tell you that, at least in Senegal, okay? I can't speak for all the other countries on this, but I kind of feel like it's the same thing. I don't know, but Senegal is not playing with this. So you will be looking for an apartment, right? Oh my God, I gotta brace myself. So you'll find an apartment, right? And you'll find someone that is like, yeah, let me let you see the apartment. and you will be like, let's meet at 4 p.m. to see the apartment. But you better not show up at 4 p.m. You better show up at like 4:30, 4:40, okay? And you might not even need to show up then, because what's probably going to happen is you're going to show up late so that you're on time, okay? Did you catch that? Show up late so you're on time, and then you're still not going to be on time because y'all got to wait for a guy that's waiting on a guy who's waiting on the guy with the keys. I can't make this up. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't even lie to you. I have found my own place, my own places here, okay? This is our third apartment since we moved here, and I have helped multiple people find a place to live here. Bruh. At this point, it's so much, it's so protocol, it's so natural that for me, as in my American brain, I'd be like, look, tell him we're gonna meet him at this time, but we're not coming, right, until he says that the guy with the keys, and the guy with the keys to all the doors, okay? That's another unreal thing, because you could be going through the apartment and then they don't have the keys to the kitchen. So you can't even see the kitchen because somebody done locked the kitchen door. Yes, they have locks on the kitchen door. It's unreal. So please brace yourself for CP Time Africa Edition. It exists. It's where it started, okay? We cannot outbeat them when it comes to this. On so many levels, I love it, which I'm gonna get to that later too, because I'm kind of for CP time, y'all. Like I kind of like to flow, like a lot. So it's not really a problem for me, honestly. I like it. I don't like to live in the hustle and bustle, and it's like, oh my God, you have to be, in America, it's like, if you're late, if you're 5 or 10 minutes late to something, you are a disgrace to your bloodline in America. Like, you are a disgrace to the Black community, okay? Even though we do CP time in a professional setting, we really don't, right? If you're, or I should say, the way that we see it is like, if you're being professional, then you don't be on CP time. But in Africa, nobody care. Like, there's no, oh, you're being professional. No, you're not when it comes to that. It's just show up, y'all. Just show up when y'all get here. Like, So this actually leads me to the next thing I want to talk about that is so unreal. I feel like I have to brace myself for all of these. The other thing, you guys, is that, okay, again, I don't know if this is Africa as a whole thing, if this happens. I'm sure it happens in other countries here, but I know for certain in Senegal, because I've seen this happen too many times. So same subject, right? Finding apartments. You can go and look for an apartment, and this is gonna sound so crazy, but the people that are living in that apartment or were living in that apartment can still be living in the apartment.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yes. Yes. Very normal. Very normal. It is so normal that I have went to look at apartments with people still living in it, and me as myself being an apartment dweller, right, living in my home and knowing that I'm going to be leaving soon, I have also opened up my home to show the possible future tenants what the home that I'm currently still living in looks like. Oh my God. And it's so funny how you can just adapt to these things depending on the kind of person that you are, because now it's kind of normal for me, but it's actually not, okay? My other brain is still like, no, this is not normal, okay? When I tell you, so the second apartment that we ended up moving in, if you guys seen the most amazing apartment I've ever had so far, was in front of the ocean. That was our last place in Yoff. And you guys, I went to look at this apartment, and the apartment was occupied as fuck. I'm talking about, like, it was overly occupied, you guys. The reason why this gets me is because you would think that at least they would be like, let me let the people know that we're coming. Oh my God, they don't even do that. I swear to God, when I opened up my apartment, which I think has happened twice now, no one told me that it was happening. I was just like, okay, like, and of course you can say no, but it depends on, you know, what your apartment looked like at the time, and no one cares either. It's so crazy, but it's so unreal. Definitely, they will not. They don't be like, okay, you know, at least make sure that the apartment is clean, because even though you're leaving in 2 weeks, I have some tenants that are coming, and I want to make sure that they actually get the apartment. That doesn't matter. What you have to have in Africa is the mindset of potential. You have to have a potentiality, you know, mindset when it comes to this, because you got to be able to go inside that apartment, and while you got trash over here and the person is, you got the auntie is asleep over there, it's a couple of babies running around in the other room, and you got to be able to see the potential of that apartment, okay, of that appartement, okay. You got to be able to look at it and be like, okay, so if this wasn't here and y'all didn't have this pile of clothes right here, I kid y'all not, true story. My last apartment, this is how I chose my apartment. And it was crazy because, first of all, Muhammad, shout out to Muhammad. That's my dude. That's my real estate dude. I might end up linking him if you guys are looking for an apartment or a home and you end up going to Dakar. I think he has some places in Sally and outside of Dakar too. But Muhammad is great, and he speaks good enough English. He's such a sweetheart, and he's helped me find all my places in Dakar, right? So I'm going through the apartment, and so one room in the apartment I couldn't see because whatever the hell they had going on in that room, they wasn't ready to show that room because they were in that room. So I'm like, I'm a little irritated. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little irritated. And I'm like, okay, Muhammad. I'm like, Muhammad, I love this apartment. I really would like to see if I can get this apartment, but I have to see the apartment when people are not in it so I can see the apartment. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm a problem. I'm a problem is the word that you hear every day, all the time. It means no problem, okay? I don't like it personally because it sounds like I'm a problem, and I'm really big on words. So, I mean, whatever, it's French.
Child. Anyway, so
Muhammad says he's going to make sure that the people are out of this room so that I can see the room, right? Yeah, like he's like, yeah, and I'm like, so the house, like it's going to be available for me to walk around and really see what's going on, right? I'm clarifying because you got to clarify in Africa. He's like, yes, I'm a problem. Why did this man call me 2 or 3 days later? Like, the apartment is free, it's clear, available. Come and see the apartment. I kid you not, you guys, true story. I go into the apartment. The people are still there. Everything is still in its place. The only thing that has changed is that the room that I was able to see, now I cannot see. And the room that I was not able to see, I now can see, because whatever they had going on in this room, they have transferred it to the room that I have already seen. I'm not making this up. So technically he did what he said. He let me be able to see the other room, but I couldn't see the two rooms at the same time because they switched. It's unreal that I'm even telling you this story. I'm like, yo, the patience that you have to have here is unreal as well, okay? So I'm like, Muhammad, come on, bring it in, brother. Can you show me the apartment when I can see all the rooms at the same time, Muhammad? Like, the fact that I had to get that detailed is unreal, okay? Oh my God, it's amazing. Okay, so how they drive is unreal. Oh my God, it's unreal. There's no way. I don't know what the driver's test is doing. I don't know how the driver's test goes. But I'm not convinced that everybody's taking it. I'm not convinced everybody's taking it. I just don't.
Nope.
I just don't think everybody gotta take it. I think you're supposed to, but I don't think you have to, because there's no way. The way that they drive, y'all, is so like this. This is the part where I really started to realize that God is here more often than anywhere else, honestly, because I'm not even playing with y'all. This is a normal Senegalese person backing out their car. This is backing up. Just like that. Did you see me turn around? Did you see me look back? They don't have to look back. They going off of the spirit, okay? They going off of the feeling of Allah and God taking over them, okay? Clearly their driving is intuitive. Clearly. Because how even the urge, the way I learned, like I learned through people. Since I was a little girl, I learned through observing others and calculating how things are working. So I have really sat back and been like, is the way that our stuff is so structured in America and everything has like a rule and a place, we are taught and trained, and you have to pass the test, that when you're backing up, you have to put your hand on the other seat, and you must turn around and you must back up with your hand in the right place, right on the wheel. Am I wrong? Right? That's the process, right? So I'm like, well, would we be doing all of that if we didn't have to? Like, it really makes me wonder, is it not instinct to turn around and try and see if there could be some kids behind you? There could be some humans. You could hit a cow. Is this not instinct? No. Clearly it's not instinct to turn around and see what is behind you. Oh my goodness. Even earlier today, my driver was just backing into this guy's car. And he did it multiple times. I'm talking about him hitting the guy's car multiple times, y'all. And it's just like, hit it, And then they just go on like, what? Unreal, okay? Another little, I guess this is like stories put in this too, right? The honey. Okay, no one is probably going to be able to relate to this. Nobody that's been here is going to be able to relate to this. This is really unique, but it shows you how unreal things are, okay? You won't even have the same stories here, because that's how crazy things are. Like, crazy in a good way, but in a crazy way, right? I don't know. Okay, so normally getting local honey is really easy here, right? We just go to any of the boutiques, go to the market, you get some honey. I don't know what's been going on with the honey lately, but I haven't been able to get my local honey. So I have this woman that is down the street. She's in this round point, we call, and she is serving fruits. So she has made my life so much easier, because I just call her and I order what I want. And at this point, I'm not even just ordering fruits. I'm like, you got some peanuts, you got some cabbage, and she's getting it all done. She's going and gathering everything and she's giving it to me, right? So 2 weeks ago, she went to get us honey like she normally does. And whoever she's getting her honey from, they decided, you know what? I'm just gonna show y'all, because context is always better. So just hold on 1 second. Okay, so instead of the guy giving the honey in the normal bottles that he gives, normally it's just the normal plastic bottle. There's a small one, there's a large one. It's not a lot of complications there, right? But for some reason, I don't know why, I can't say, the guy is giving this honey out in these little small bottles like this, right? This is actually an old bottle of banana extract, right? So he's giving out all this honey in these little bottles, right? All these little bottles. I bought like 10 of them or something, so it can equivalent to the big bottle, right? Of course, I asked if these bottles have been washed and sterilized. I don't even know why I asked that, but of course I asked that because, like, it's extract, so it's really potent. When we're talking about extract, am I saying that right? Extracts. Okay, right. I never knew I couldn't say extract. Okay, so one of the bottles that he is selling this out of, and I went today, so this is an old bottle. I don't even know why we're saving it. It's just here. This is a medicine bottle, guys. He is selling honey out of banana extract bottles and medicine bottles. And the guy is saying that he has cleaned it out and everything is good. There's no residue. But he ain't telling the truth. Because when I say this is banana honey, baby, it's banana honey. It don't taste like nothing else but banana. It tastes like now bananas is producing honey. Literally. All the way, right? This here, this is cough medicine honey. It tastes like cough medicine. It's cough medicine. It's cough medicine. It is so dangerous. I don't even know what kind of cough medicine this is. Okay, and then let me back up, right? Let me back up, because when this happened, I thought in my mind, okay, telling this story to a fellow American, I'm going to look like the crazy one. Because what you're probably thinking is, why the hell did I even buy it? Like, why would you probably saying, well, they're like, why would you even buy honey out of a medicine bottle? I know, it sounds crazy. But it's Africa, it's unreal. This is some normal shit, actually. So it's not actually that crazy, even though I probably look crazy to some of y'all right now for doing this. But it's really actually normal, because there's alternatives for things. And, sometimes we have to improvise. This is an improvising continent, okay? So it's actually normal for me to have done this. It's not crazy, even though it sounds like it. I didn't want to share this because it sounds crazy. But I'm not playing with you. This tastes like straight cough syrup. And I'm like, bruh, this in America, the man would have been in jail right now. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't even gonna hold you. The man would have been under investigation, because you can't sell nothing that people are ingesting and it has whatever ingredients of this medicine inside of it. Because that's all it tastes like. I'm talking about my tongue got a little numb and everything from the medicine. I mean, I almost don't really believe that he even poured the medicine out. Like, it was perfectly normal. Everybody's like, supograph. No, what? So this was, 2 weeks ago, right? I went to get honey today, and I thought my driver would take me to somewhere else, because it wasn't, now my driver's taking me for the honey, not my fruit lady friend, right? But he takes me to the same guy. So, oh my God, my communication skills I need an award for this, okay? Because I don't even know how I managed to translate to him and the other 3 men that were there trying to get me to buy it that, hell no, I'm not buying this medicine. He had more of these bottles. I'm like, Jeff, I don't even know what I said. But I'm like, banan mel banan, okay? I'm saying honey is banan, taste, okay? I somehow managed to tell him that the fruit lady, Medium, brought me his honey already, and we can taste the banana and we can taste the medicine, and absolutely no, get that medicine, get that medicinal honey out of my face. And, it was a good laugh. We all laughed at it, but I'm just like, yo, this is unreal. This is not real. Like, is this real? Is this happening right now? I'm talking about the guy is like pouring the honey out in my hand. I'm tasting all the honeys. We're doing all this when you can just stop selling medicinal banana infused honey. And then this is so random, because I've been here for almost 4 years and I never had a problem buying honey. It's such a random, challenge. Like, what? So, yes, guys, I feel like I have one more. I feel like I got one more that I need to think of, because it's real. It's real and it's fake. It's not even real. It's unreal. Okay, another thing, the emergency number. Why, how? There is not a real, okay, let me be careful with my words, because y'all like to tussle in the comments. Y'all be doing too much sometimes. Okay, there is a 911 number. It's not 911. I forgot what it is. But there is an emergency number, okay? It exists. But I'm going to tell you that at least half of them don't know what that number is. At least half of them don't. I know because I'm like a journalist out here, okay? I be asking questions. They don't even know the emergency number. They don't even need the emergency number. And a conversation I had with one of my friends, he was like, you guys are privileged to even be able to call 911 and have somebody come to your rescue. Like, I'm like, wow, I never thought of that. And then I was like, you guys are privileged because y'all's crimes clearly do not amount to what a 911 call requires, okay? Because there's no way. Y'all clearly are not having the kind of emergencies we having. Because how? Like, that's impossible. We deal with so many things I have sat back and listened to 911 calls before, okay? From people overdosing, kids killing, having guns, all types of stuff. So what? Like, we might be privileged to have, emergency that will come straight to us, but they're privileged to not have such dire emergencies, such severe emergency situations, But I'm just like, wow, that was one of the first questions I asked when I moved here. Like, how do y'all, what happens in emergency? And it's really unreal that what really happens in most emergencies is that the people handle it. The people handle it. And that might be the most real thing that I have talked about this whole time, because that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it originally was. Don't have me getting on this whole the history of officers, overseers, that whole thing, because before slavery there was not officers wasn't a thing, not in the light that it is now. It wasn't a big thing, and I don't really think it was a thing at all. Not in America, it definitely wasn't. So it's good to have that safety to an extent, but if we're talking about us as Black people, how many times have we called the police and regretted it and wished that we didn't in America? So I really do love the way, and I am a witness to this very real thing of when something goes down here, everybody jumps in. It truly is a village thing. And I'm talking about me even staying in Dakar, which is like Africa's New York City. It's totally city life. And if you get into an argument with somebody, don't think that you can argue with somebody here and it just be between y'all two. It's not gonna be between y'all two. No. Even if it's your husband. If y'all getting too loud, somebody is gonna jump in y'all situation and try to diffuse it and probably make it a little worse, because it's gonna get a little hype. But it's going to be all right. They're going to make sure that everything is good. And I love that. I love that about Senegal. And that's the thing, too. I will say Senegal. I do believe that when I'm speaking on that, I do think that it is, if not all African countries, it's the majority of them. But since I'm not sure, I will say that's definitely a thing that is specific for Senegal. If you are from the diaspora, or if you are from another African country and you identify with any of these things, let me know in the comments. Let me know what country you're from or that you live in on the continent, and if the same thing is a thing for y'all too. Or let me know if it's something that is complete opposite and you're like, absolutely not, we don't do that here. Absolutely not. I would say that the last thing that I want to mention about Africa being so unreal, and this is definitely another specific thing for Senegal, it's going to be how easy things are. Putting emphasis on the fact that not everything is easy, right? But the things that are easy, and it being certain things that are easy, it's almost unreal. Like me being able to live in this city that I'm in, and if I don't want to leave the house for 3 months, I really don't have to. I can really get everything delivered to my home, from food to furniture, being able to get things custom made. The reason why I say this is specific for Senegal, as of my knowledge, is because when it comes to the help that you get here, taranga, okay? Senegalese, their slogan, okay, the country's slogan is taranga, and that means welcome home, okay? Welcome, hospitality. I really cannot see another place on earth having the level of hospitality and the feeling of welcomeness that Senegal has. I really don't know if, as me being a single mother, moving to a country where they speak a foreign language, I don't know if I would still be here if that country wasn't Senegal. I don't know. I just don't know. Because the taranga here is on 100. The way that I am able to be assisted, oh God, I could cry right now. I am extremely grateful for just being able to be in a country where people go out of their way. They were trained up and raised up to assist and to help others. What kind of godly country is that? Like, what? What you say? Coming from a country where we don't help people unless there's a benefit? To this day, I can't even get family and friends to help me with certain things. I had to sell my whole house because I couldn't get anyone to help me upkeep it while I wasn't living in the same state, okay? The way that I could be living here and own property and get one of these people that I've met only in the last 3.5 years to help upkeep my house and actually trust them? What? Are you kidding me? This is unreal, okay? This is unreal. And that's not to say, that's not to, paint this picture that you could come to Senegal and you should trust everybody and things. Of course, people are playing people. There's a couple of videos I need to do on some stuff like that, but I have to be careful. Guys, there's so many things that I would share with y'all, but there's people that are on their way here who would probably be open and understand what I'm saying. And then there's a lot of you guys watching that are skeptical about Africa. And for some reason, it makes you angry that people are migrating to Africa. So for that reason, I'm very careful with the things that I share about this place. There are things that I want to share about the opposite side, okay? The cons, the things that haven't been so pleasant for me. And I don't share them all the time because some of you guys are dumb. No, I'm for real. Some of you guys are completely ignorant and you live in America and it's so dangerous to live there. It's so dangerous. You're risking your life just going to the grocery store. And if I tell you that I got robbed safely, y'all will be like, ooh, see, that's why you shouldn't have went to Africa. You see, I told you, da-da-da-da. So, okay, I digress. For that reason, I am very careful with sharing things. So I said all that to say that I don't want to paint the picture that everything is perfect and everything is amazing and easy here, because it's not. Africa definitely comes with its hardships. Senegal definitely has its challenges that I don't think that everybody can maintain, right? Can live here and deal with the challenges. But overall, oh my God, this is most definitely the easiest times in my life that I have ever lived because I'm living here in a place of taranga. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was super quick and random. I just made the post and I was like, you know what? If I don't do this now, it's probably be months before I do it again. So let me know what was your favorite part about this video, what stood out. If you enjoyed this video, then please share. Make sure you thumbs up so YouTube can know that your girl's videos need to be suggested, okay? She needs to go viral a couple times, okay? Thank you so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And thank you for rolling with a sister. Peace out.
I see you in the moonlight dancing, yeah. Only need one chance, girl, right here. One night stand, please don't have fear.